I'm Mark Greenstein of Ivy Bound. It is early spring, and I want to help parents who are planning for the summer and know that they need some test prep. That might be SAT, that might be ACT, that might be both. You've probably figured out, if not, I have other videos for you, that summer is the best time for almost every student to do a good chunk of her or his prep, probably all of it. They have summer tests now for both the ACT and the SAT. It makes sense mostly because kids don't have school in the way. They have more extra time. There's no competing academics to the study that they're going to do. So if it's being done with us, my strong push is to start fast. And meaning soon after school ends. Don't wait more than a week. Sometime in June is an opportune time to get started. And I kind of like getting started with multiple sessions in a week. That doesn't need to continue all summer, but with the expectation that if you're doing 3 sessions a week to start, you will taper down to 2 or even 1. Some students, they have a good enough start that after 3 or 4 weeks, they do practice tests that show really good scores that they're destined to get at the end of the summer, and they could drop down to once every 2 weeks. It's what we call maintenance. So if your kid is open to that kid, you got to do this sometime anyway, okay? You're going to put in 30 hours of study with an Ivy Bound tutor and some practice testing. So do you want to do it sooner or later? I think most mature kids would like to do it sooner. We'd like to have them sooner because we can get more learning in when they're not conflicted and still have their brains geared up for school that just ended in June. It's like an extension of school, but not nearly as much, okay? They're in school 35 hours a week. We're asking for 8. Okay, that's it. It's a drop down, and it's an effective one. Now, for the student's sake, the fast learning allows students to appreciate what they're learning. That, hey, I'm making improvements, noticeable ones, every single week. And practice testing is the way that we want kids and their tutors to know what those improvements are. So after probably 6 sessions, that's 12 to 15 hours with a tutor, we'd like to see practice testing added into the student's regime. You don't need a tutor for that. Students do that on their own. Sometimes they join us. We still proctor, even in the summer, practice tests over the weekends. So, fast start, taper, although some practice test might be part of the student's agenda. When the tutoring tapers, it might get replaced by practice testing in place of, say, one of those days that used to be reserved for tutoring. You'll be ready. Whether that's the ACT in July or the SAT in August, you'll be ready to trounce it. This is not a practice test in the summer. This is potentially your end test, the one that can count for college admission, even if you're only a sophomore. Isn't it cool to be done that early? Or close to done, and know that you just need some burnishing. And a later test during the school year will probably get you all the way home. Get the score that you're looking for. Get those likely acceptances from that score, likely financial awards that often come from a good score. So I rarely counsel students making a summer test a practice. Make it your real target, knowing that you have plenty of opportunities in the fall or even the winter. But if your target is hit, you're done. We call it one and done, which is a lovely feeling. Good for you, good for your kid. You're on to the next endeavor. All right, thanks for listening. I'm Mark Greenstein, and I look forward to seeing you and your kids with us sometime this summer.